Okay, so at this point, we're going to be on slide 19. Okay, so slide 19, what we're discussing here, non-Mendelian inheritance, blood types. So each one of you, when you're born, you're actually get your little finger pricked, and so they actually blood type you when you're born. The other thing that they do is when you go and donate blood, there's also the opportunity to get typecasted, which just means like, what type blood do you have? So there are ultimately 3 different types. Okay, so there is type A, there's type B, there's also type AB, and there's type O. Type O just implies that there are no antigens on there. Okay, so what that means is that there are no antigens that are present on the outside of the cells. And so that means that they can donate to anybody because since there's nothing to kind of spark a response, then your body is able to accept them. However, if someone is type O blood, that means that they can only receive type O blood as well. Okay. So a couple things here. Since we're going to answer this bottom right hand question, it says explain which types of inheritance are shown by blood type. So if I can have A, B, and both of them are dominant, is that incomplete inheritance or is that is that codominance? Codominance. So for the bottom right hand box, I need you guys to put that those are codominant traits. So this is codominant inheritance. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to slide 20. So slide 20 is going to have us practice this. So if we look, here are all of the different genotypes that someone can have. So someone could have genotype AA. So their phenotype would just be what their blood type is. So if it's AA, what blood type would they be? A. So that's all I got to put is A. This next one, since we know that this is codominance, okay, since we know that it's codominant, we have AB, which implies that their phenotype is AB. Okay. Next one. Okay, so the next one, it's a little bit different because they inherited one dominant trait, A trait, from a parent, but the other one was recessive, which means that which one would be shown, A or O blood? Just A. Okay, so good job. So this third one is going to be A.
So O is recessive?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here we see type BB. So you're not going to do the phenotype is BB blood. They are just going to be phenotype B. So they have type B blood. Okay, this next one, they inherited a type B from one parent. The other parent was a recessive trait. So which one is going to be expressed? B. Okay, now here's the tricky part, is that in this case, there was no dominant trait that was inherited. So there is nothing there. So do you guys remember what kind that is? If there's no antigens? Type O blood. Okay, so we want to make sure that's a capital O. So that's the more rare one. So more people want type O blood, meaning like if you're type O blood, you were wanted and you'll get a bunch of phone calls from Carter blood donation. So because you can literally give your blood to any other person. Okay, if you are, and now there is positives and negative stuff, but we're not at that level yet. There is like type O negative, which means that you really could donate to anybody. But there is O positive, and then there's B positive, A positive, A minus. There's a whole bunch of pluses and minuses, but we don't get into that in this class. So just know that there are A, AB, B blood, and then O. So there's 4 different combinations that can happen here. So here, let's do the practice problem. So if a parent with AB blood and a parent with B blood have a child, what are the possible blood types the child could have? So we're going to practice using what we call a superscript. So if you guys go to this blue box here, now yours might be formatted a little weird and I'm not sure what's going to happen there. You might just have to enter a new text box. But what I want you guys to do is we need to do the genotypes. Notice how it has the letter I here. So what I'm going to do is I need to go I, And my first letter is going to be A. So it's going to go IA. If you can't see it, let me zoom in. There we go. JD, can you see?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm going to go, the second part is it's going to be IB. But the thing is that we need to show the superscript, which means that we're going to try and make this letters, like the type A and B, what we call superscript. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the letter A. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in again for my kids that are in the back. Okay, and so we're going to go format, text, and we're going to call this superscript. So like Superman goes up, okay, subscript would be below. We want this to be a superscript. So that's how you get the little letters to look like an exponent. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing for the letter B here. So I'm going to go, I highlighted it, format. I'm going to go text, and I'm going to go superscript. All right, so that is going to be for a parent that has an AB genotype. Yeah, and I'm not sure. So like I said, if you guys need to just delete the text box and just insert a new text box, it'll clear all that formatting out. So I'm not sure what happened there. So in this case, okay, the second one, let me zoom out so we make sure, boom. All right, so in this case, if a parent with AB blood and a parent with B blood have a child, what are the possible blood types the child could have? A couple things. There's two ways that someone can be type B. And so when we're typing out the genotypes, there are two options here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to work on those. So I'm going to zoom in again. Okay, and so we did this table over here to the left. Type B blood could be both of them being dominant here, or we can have one that's dominant and just type O. So we need to take these two right here and we need to put them into the box over here. So I need to make sure that I type I, and I'm going to go B, I, B. So that's a possibility. The other one is I, B, and then I, and nothing attached to it. Okay, and then I'm going to work on making that another superscript here. Format, text, super. Format, text, super. Format, text. For the first option, yes. The second option, in order to be a B type, he could just inherit just IB, and this other one is just recessive. Okay, so those are our options there. Okay, I'm going to pause this video. Okay, so now we're at the point where we can actually start doing the Punnett square for these two. So one thing that I can do, okay, I am not going to dock you points. Bless you, bless you. Bless you. If you guys are don't have to use the superscript here, so I can go IA and then IB. Okay, whereas if I cross it with someone that has a B genotype, I'm going to go IB, IB. Okay, now same deal. Okay, so I'm going to use the same letter, so IA, IB, so that's my AB parent. And I'm going to cross it with my second possibility. You can have I, capital B, and then I can also just have I. Okay, so now here's what you guys are going to do. Okay, I'll give you guys a second to at least try that out. Okay, so notice how every time that I'm going to be, let's see here, what do I want to say here? Every time that I'm going to be putting these letters together, in this case, I want to go in alphabetical order, which means that I want to go I, A, and then I, B. And since these squares are a little bit smaller, I can go ahead and do my superscripts here. superscript and okay. All right, so now one little cheat, if you guys don't want to just keep doing superscript, if you know that the vertical, so I know that this is going to be the same as this, I can just copy that and paste it. So Control C, Control V, if you guys wanted to. All right, and I'm going to do this crossing here, IB, IB. I'm going to make this superscript. And make this superscript. Okay, and then I'm going to copy this. Oh. Sure can. There. Can you guys see that better? Okay. Rest of slide 20. So that's going to be on your own. I do, however, want to review the next couple slides to make sure that we understand the definitions of all of the other terms that were a part of this Google Slides. So let's go to slide 21. Even if you're not done, I am giving you answers, so follow along. So on slide 21, okay, so you're kind of playing this Pictionary, which just means that I see this picture here, and then I need to describe what is happening. So what we see is we see one gene right here, which then codes, in this case, this gene codes for long, thin toes, long, thin fingers, tall height, heart problems, lens dislocation. So that just means like the location of your eyes. Like I'm not saying like over on the side, I'm just saying that not everybody has the same shape of eyes. And so that's located on one gene, okay? By definition, one gene that codes for different phenotypes, we call this pleiotropy. So I'm going to take the little red box that was located on the side, and I'm going to click and I'm going to drag it over pleiotropy. Okay, so that's going to be for slide 21. To review the next one, we're going to go to slide 22. And what I see is here's a chromosome, but I see different colors for each of those, okay? So if there are multiple different colors, that means that there are what we call multiple alleles. So I can have multiple different types of alleles on the same gene, okay? So I'm going to click, I'm going to drag this to multiple alleles. My kids I think I had 1 or 2 kids that were already done. This is a good way to make sure you have the correct answers. So make sure you guys are doing this and following along. Okay, so that was for slide 22. Let's go to 23. Slide 23. So a lot of people don't know this, but your hair color is actually controlled by a bunch of different genes. And so if I look here, all of these different genes, okay, are then in control of hair color. And what we call that is called polygenic inheritance. So the word poly means many, okay? So if I have many genes, okay, so breaking the word apart, poly means many genes in order to create inheritance, we call that polygenic inheritance. So that is going to be for slide 23. Okay, any questions on that one? Okay, let's go to slide 24. A little bit easier, we've done this before. Okay, you take a red rose and you cross it with a white one, and all of a sudden you get pink. Yes, ma'am. So slide 23, polygenic inheritance. Slide 24. So if I have one that is, I take 2 of these flowers and they kind of blend together, is that codominance or is that incomplete dominance? Incomplete dominance, good. So I'm going to click this. Because it's incomplete, which means you've got to like kind of blend them together because not one is dominating over the other, they blend. That's where you get kind of this third color, okay? And we have actually talked about 25 as the beginning part of this lesson. So in this case, if I look at blood and I see that I have B and A and both of them are expressed and they don't blend together, it's not like ib. Okay, that doesn't work. Both of them are expressed. Is that codominance or was that incomplete dominance? Codominance. Good.
Also, incomplete is when they like blend and then co and when they both show up.
So like to co-share means that they are sharing the responsibilities. Co-workers or anything just means to share. So that means that they are sharing the responsibility there. Okay, good question. All right. Before I stop the recording, does anybody in class have any questions that maybe some other kids might ask?
Can I just ask which one was 21 again?
Okay, so 21 was pleiotropy. So 21 was PLEIOTROPY. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording. For those that are watching this in another class, make sure you hit the turn in button. Thanks, guys.